So then I had to call the wife and go, hey, I bought another car without talking to you.
Yep. Hey guys, it's Mike at Narcoleptic Customs. Today we're coming from O'Reilly Auto Parts in Centerton. Don't know if you can see that because of the glare, but we are going to be doing our first review on daily driven vintage cars. We're going to start with Matt Monroe's 1970 Duster, slant six. He basically drives this car almost every day, cold weather, snow, rain, everything. So let's get in, find out a little bit about him, and obviously more about the car. Listen to that rumble of the straight, slant six.
Slant six.
Slant six.
225.
Man, 225 cubic inches of pure, raw, 87 horsepower.
Yeah.
What do you think it really makes?
I really think it's at about 75.
Dang. Awesome. Now, you drive this car a lot.
I drive it everywhere.
You've been to Branson in the car?
I've been to Branson. I've been to Jay, Oklahoma.
Was that the cruise over there?
Yeah, I was
that's awesome.
over there.
That's awesome.
And then there ended up being two more finished Dusters that really got me going on wanting to get this done.
Yeah. So tell us about this car. Why this car? Why this car?
Well, this car, okay, so my dad and stepbrother got this car together when I was 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
They worked on it with each other. They kind of got mad at each other and quit working on it. And then the car just kind of sat. It was running, and Mark drove it a little bit more and everything, which is my stepbrother. He drove it a little bit more and everything. But then about 10 to probably about 12 years ago now, it got to where the brakes were really bad. It wasn't wanting to run right and everything. So he just parked it out at his mom's house by the Beaver Lake,
okay,
where it sat forever. And then finally, divorce happens and everything, so I don't see this car for mostly that 12 years.
Dang.
And it was just sitting. It just sat. So fast forward to last spring.
Yep.
My sister, who's Mark's sister, gets a hold of me and goes, "Hey, he's in town and taking offers
on the Duster."
On the Duster. This was his teenage project.
Wow.
And then he moved to Idaho, didn't take the car with him, and he didn't want to pay the shipping to get it up there.
Yeah.
So I shot him an offer of $1,000.
Okay.
And he took it.
Dude, that's awesome.
So then I had to call the wife and go, hey, I bought another car without talking to you.
Yeah, because Matt also owns Project Gojira. If you've watched any of our videos in the past, big block C10 truck, you'll see it later.
Yeah,
I'll put a link in the corner.
We'll get it back out. But then, I'm like, do we have $1,000 just sitting around? Because I didn't ask that basic question.
Oh my God.
Luckily we did. We had a little bit sitting back. So we get out there, tires are all flat, car won't even try to start. And so we come along, get onto a U-Haul trailer, bring it home, push it into my driveway. I get it jacked up a little bit, change the oil, pour about 5 gallons of fresh gas into it.
Yep.
Car fires up and I drive around the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
And then, so now, fast forward to this year, I have a new fuel system in it, rebuilt that Holly 1 barrel on it, and it's been running like a champ ever since.
That's awesome. So how many miles do you think you put on this since you've been driving it?
Since I've been driving it, I say I drive it a lot, and I have done some long distance drives, but just to work and back,
yeah,
I've maybe put about 8,000 miles.
That's a bunch, and that's why I want to do this whole series, is because, like, I mean, this is the car you drug out of a field.
No, woods. It wasn't even a field.
Oh my God! So out of the woods, a little bit of work, and it's rolling again. Now you put new tires on it.
Yeah, I got new tires on it.
Right. But now, tell us about tires. They're not some fancy tire.
They are like 14x5s.
Oh my God!
They are pizza cutters.
Right.
This was a base of the base for Dusters. Like, no AC. It had, the only thing that was upgraded was it had the bigger of the slant sixes. Because there was a one, I believe it was a 178 slant six, and there's this one, the 225.
Oh my gosh! I can't imagine one with less power, but I mean, we're running probably 65 or 70, or probably 55 right now.
These cars, their happy place with these slant sixes was meant to be a fuel economy grabbing 55 to 60 miles an hour.
Man, that's awesome. And 3-speed auto?
3-speed auto. It has the 904 in it, which is the smaller of the two that they came with.
Yeah.
Like the 318 and the 340 cars usually came with like an 8 3/4 and a 727 drivetrain.
Because they needed more beef. This one doesn't need that.
No, not really. I mean, these cars, even if you go through the trouble of supercharging them and everything else, you're looking at 300 horses.
Wow.
To get, but out of a slant six, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's a bunch, considering the car makes 75 right now.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to get pulled over. We're going to do a walk around real quick of the car. All right, Matt. What does it mean to you to drive this car?
Well, I wanted this car since I was like 15 years old, and I almost had it, but then the deal just didn't happen. So to be able to come along and be able to get it in my adult life and just drive it, it means the world to me, really. This was the dream car. It's always been the dream car. All I had to do when I just bought it was tell my wife I bought the car. She knew exactly what car I was talking about.
That's awesome. So, future plans.
Future plans. Right now, we're going to end up swapping out the Slant 6. I'm going to rebuild it and just kind of keep it on a pedestal because right now this is a numbers matching car.
Wow.
So what I'm going to do is hang on to that engine just to have it. We're going to do a 390 stroker in it with
Sweet.
a built 727 and a Ford 9-inch in the back with 3.0 posi.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now you're going to touch the paint on it?
Eventually, yes. I want to go back to the factory tour red. But I mean, right now it just looks really cool. Like my buddies call it the crap duster as homage to Roadkill's crop duster.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, well, the whole reason we've waited so long to do this was because scheduling conflicts, and then you wanted to touch up a couple things on the car. Can I drive it?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, let's do this real quick. If anybody has any questions, ask them down in the comments because I'm fixing to get in this thing. All right, guys, Matt is gracious enough to let me drive this car. So we're going to ease it back to his office and then go over some questions from there. So, anything special I should know?
This side hangs up a little bit on the brakes, but nothing, it's not going to kill us.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. I don't like to die. Now, I don't know if I've ever driven a classic vintage Mopar at all ever in my life.
There's not many of them left. Well, a lot of these cars were really popular because they had the same amount of engine space as the Cudas, the Challengers, all the big names.
Okay.
So you can slap a 440 in this, and it's a 2,700 pound car.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
So you slap a 440 in this, you're going to the drag strip and dominating.
It's suddenly badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
now, is it like, like, I don't know these body chassis types, but is it like an A body?
Yes, it's an A body, and it's also a unibody car.
Right. So like A body, is that the same as like a Challenger or something like that? Or they
the Challengers? I do believe the Challengers are E body.
Okay.
And the Cudas. I believe the Challenger and the Cudas are E body, and then the Chargers I believe are B bodies. But don't quote me on that. I don't know as much about those as I should.
Gotcha. Well, you don't need to. You have this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, would you say you're a Mopar guy, or are you just a car guy?
I'm a car guy. I love my Mopars. Like, I'm planning on getting my son a Dart. I want to find him an old Dart for his high school car.
That'd be cool. Especially because, like, y'all, he's new. He's a new baby. He's what, 10 months old?
Oh, he's 5.5 months.
5.5 months old.
He is new.
That's awesome.
But yeah, but I'm gonna try to get him a Dart. The wife wants me to wait until he decides what he likes.
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
No, he's gonna be a Mopar kid.
Because I mean, let's be honest. Like, you build that car because you wanted to build it. It just gives you a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's man. The car drives great. So power steering?
Yes.
Okay.
It has power steering.
Power brakes or anything like that?
No power brakes. It's manual. It's manual drums. I'm getting ready to upgrade to power disc in the front.
Wow, that'll be a big change.
It'll be a huge change.
Wow.
These brand new used to get, like, if the engine was fresh and the carb was done right, 31 miles to the gallon.
Jeez.
On these
I mean, like, you can barely get that out of a Corolla.
Yeah.
And this is way more fun than a Corolla.
Oh, it's way cooler.
That reminds me. All right. So you're driving this car. Somebody's driving a Corolla. Both of y'all pull into the gas station at the same time. Who's going to get talked to by an old man?
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
This car all day.
Right? Now, here's one other thing that I think is probably one of the biggest benefits to driving an old car all the time. If you're wanting to build a car and there's a guy in your town that has old cars laying around in the field out back, if you drive in this,
Oh, yeah.
you are way more likely to at least get that guy's attention to start that process of trying to buy the car you wanted that's in the back.
Yeah, because I mean, what's the most common answer if you pull up on a guy like that?
Nah, it's not for sale, or I'm going to build it.
Yeah, I'm going to build it somebody like this place right here that we just passed. He has a bunch of cars been sitting there for years.
Yeah, literally has a sign painted that says nothing for sale, go away.
Yeah.
So
it's like this car. This car, he had better offers for this car.
Yeah.
But they wanted to turn it into a drag car. He didn't want that for this car.
He wanted somebody to turn it into a drag car later.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be. I mean, I know I'm souping it a little bit and making it better.
Right.
But I mean, it's still a period correct 318 going in it.
And then videos like this for fun for everybody on YouTube. So,
Man, we've been talking about doing this for about what, 10 months now?
Oh, at least, dude, at least. So I think this car is what's really going to push us over the edge on doing more and more and more of this type stuff, and we're going to go inside. We're going to talk to Matt a little bit about why he likes O'Reilly's, kind of what got him into that business, because you were mainly restaurants before that, right?
Yeah, I worked a few different jobs. For the most part, my biggest point of career in my life was I ran kitchens at restaurants.
Yep.
And then just got kind of tired of that. Threw in an app at O'Reilly's. They hired me in.
Don't tell too much. We got to get in there. That way they'll get the full story on how you become an auto business manager, owner, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna attempt to back this thing in here. This could get pretty fun because these mirrors are not very big.
You got your one little mirror.
Well, this has one more mirror than the old truck because it's only got rear view mirror. Dude, this car's so cool.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me drive it.
Oh, you are officially the second person I've let drive it since I've had it.
That's pretty awesome. All right, let's go inside.
Okay.
All right, so Matt worked not in car-related stuff
Not even
for a long time before that. Worked mainly kitchen as far as your real jobs. I'm sure you had all kinds of stuff, managers and things like that. What made you go? I'll put in an application to O'Reilly's.
In all honesty, and I'm honest about this with anybody that asks, it was an in-between job. I was just wanting out of restaurants. I just wanted something kind of easy to transition.
Right.
So I was like, O'Reilly's ought to be kind of the ticket.
Yep.
So
they'll work with the schedule, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody that I've worked for with O'Reilly's has always been flexible if we needed it or if I needed it, and then it just kind of once I got into it, started meeting guys like you. Like I think we met my second week with the company. Yep. Which, believe it or not, 4 years ago almost now.
That's crazy.
And then it's just the people I've met and just the knowledge you gain.
No. Now you started as a counter guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think what we met. I wasn't in the old truck, but I was wearing a C10 shirt or something like that. And we started talking about C10.
You were hunting for the bracket to mount power steering in the old truck.
Yeah.
And everybody else was just kind of looking at it like it was a brick.
Yeah.
And so I came up and because I had my old truck up there.
Yep.
And you're like, well, you're the one with the maroon, and I was like, yeah, we got talking trucks, and we found your bracket, and then the rest.
Oh, because we had parked next to each other at the cruise inn.
Yes.
In Rogers. Yep.
There it is.
Okay. See, car stuff brings people together. Y'all didn't know.
Well, I mean, and then there's just people sent me photos of Stanley, and I've known it right off the bat, and they're like, how'd you know? You know,
C10 life, bud.
Yeah, C10s, those C10s.
That's awesome. So you send your application in. They're like, hey, this guy's got potential. I mean, is there like a question on there? Do you have old cars? Do you know cars?
There actually is. There's they have a little thing where they ask how much car experience you have, and then it doesn't necessarily ask what you drive.
Yep.
But like what kind of experience you have working on things.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just so that we know what we have to teach you. It's not a discreditor if you you could have never turned a wrench in your life.
Right.
I'm still gonna give you a shot if you come in and are willing to learn.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So they send you that. You're like, you come in for the interview. What happens next? They're like, dude, you're going to work out great. When can you start?
Pretty much. So I interviewed at this store.
Okay.
And then I got hired at Bentonville.
Yep.
So interviewed here, and then they hired me over there, and then I moved a little quick once I got over there.
Matt was on the fast track to running stuff. I mean, you were, what, 6-8 months?
I was counter guy, hired as counter guy, and about 4 months as assistant manager, and then just a month after my 1 year mark, I got this store.
Dang. So in a year, I mean, you're now, store manager of a store. What is your monthly revenue? Like, how much do you turn in this store? Not profit, but
we're averaging about, and we're a small store.
Yeah.
For our district, we're probably second smallest.
Centerton, Arkansas, for everybody that wants to look it up.
We're a smaller store, but I mean, we're doing 105 to 137. It just depends on what time of year.
That's awesome. So, I mean, you go from a guy that really had no car counter experience,
correct,
to now running something that turns more than $1 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. Okay, well, send everybody out on one final thought.
Just whether it's a rusty shit box, and sorry for the language, but whether it's that or it's a high-end car, always appreciate someone else's build.
Boom. That's perfect.
That is their passion, so respect it.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I guess, hell, I mean, we're gonna, once I get the old truck figured out, Matt's gonna drive it, and we'll have fun doing big, long, rolly burnouts.
So, oh yeah, we're down.
Dude. Thanks, man.
Welcome, buddy.